Who has done the homework from our Wednesday session? There was a bit of work that I wanted you to do, and I wanted to just take a break between Tuesday and Thursday in terms of me coming on live, because those that put these actions into place are the people that get results. So most of you know a little bit about my background. I studied psychology, postgrad in counselling, went to some prestigious universities, Hiroshima City University, and studied there, and yada, yada, yada. And I would purchase every single self-help book that I could get my hands on, and I'd read it and I'd feel so great for about 2 weeks. And then I'd share, what the book with my friends, and just thought it was like going to be changing my whole life. And then what happens? What happens after the 2 weeks? Well, I was like most people, and I just, everything went back to as it normally was. I forgot to do the exercises. I wasn't implementing the actions in the thousands of self-help books that I read and studied during university years and thereafter. And I did get some great results, actually. I did get some ease and flow, but I didn't get the quantum leaps. And on our session, so I run a session for consultants with some other colleagues in the Australia region. And this morning, I was reflecting on my story, and the quantum leaps that I've had in the past 5 years are just absolutely extraordinary. So the reason why I took a break yesterday is because I wanted you to get into the habit of action. So what we do is we tend to accumulate information, right? We are living in an era, the information era, and we're collecting information, but we don't take action. Okay. So, a lot of the concepts that I share with you today or tomorrow, or, that I've shared with you on Tuesday, they might not be new to you, or they might. I know we've had some new people that I haven't met before. Welcome. So these concepts might be new to you, but maybe they're not. They're not. Anything that I share is not rocket science, but it's really, really important that you put it into practice. Okay. So who here did the homework? So you've got two options. If you want to chat as a community, I'd suggest chat in the chat box. And I can see that there's a string of messages there. Crazy. Angie said, been there and done it. God, I love Angie. Angie is a prominent member in our Your Two Minds community. She actually leads one of our study circles on a Tuesday morning. She is one of the most dedicated people in doing this work that I have ever come across, and she's just a delight to have in our community. So you can comment in the chat box, or you can comment in the Q&A box. The Q&A box I will only see, no one else will see. So if you have any questions, if you're a little bit shy and don't want to, don't want anyone else to see, your questions or your comments, just send me a message in the Q&A box, and I'll check it as we go along. So I asked you to do a couple of things, and thank you to the incredible Natalia. I'm sure you've all had a chance to meet Natalia. She may have sent you a message on Messenger. So she's been, contacting and supporting and helping people. She's also sent out a few emails with the recordings. And the second email, which you should have received yesterday, has our meditation on there from the Tuesday session. I asked you to do two things. One thing is to write down in present tense and be really clear about what it is that you want. Who did that? Yay, Natalia. Natalia is awesome. Absolutely. Who did that piece of work? I'd love to see. And the other part was to really go deep and enjoy the meditation that I shared with you. Because as you're going to learn today, is we need both, right? We need to know what it is that we want. And I'm not sure if I like that word want. I was with my second year coaching clients yesterday morning, and I said, let's replace the word want with love. Okay, what would I love? Because the energy of love is a higher vibration than what want is, right? Want, it feels like, well, we don't have it, so we want it, we want to get it, okay, when we say want. But for people starting out, want is okay. We can continue to use it, but I really do love the word love. because of the vibration. And we're going to learn a little bit more about vibration today. We're going to learn about energy. We're going to learn about the power inside you. And I touched up on that power on Tuesday, okay? But I want to go a little bit deeper. And I really want you to get into the state of coherence and flow so that you can move and achieve your goal with flow, with ease. You see, we are so conditioned to work hard. We are so conditioned to think that something is outside of us, so therefore we have to strive for it. We have to work hard. We have to, burn out to achieve. And often we hear, oh, you deserved it. You worked so hard. And my background is European. I was born in Australia, but my parents and brother were born in the Balkans, in Serbia. And they value, one of their core values is hard work, because they felt, they were peasant farmers, so they had to work hard to survive. So you have to question, where have these paradigms come from? Okay, so my background is, quite poor. Like when you go generations before me in rural Serbia, okay, during the war, before the war, and they had to work hard just to survive. It was hard. Life was hard. So therefore, that has been passed down for generations and generations, and they somehow value people that are hard workers, right? Somehow, if you are in ease and flow and loving your life, then, there's a paradigm around, well, how can that happen? And where did they get the success from if they didn't work hard? So, as we move forward, we have 2 sessions together today. And those of you that are ready to jump onto my power puncher of a success elite transformational coaching program, you'll have a whole year with me, okay? I'm giving an additional 6 months for anybody that joins me, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. We won't talk about that now. But those of you that do stay with me, you're going to absolutely be transforming the way you're thinking about a lot of things, okay? And for the next 2 sessions that we have together, I want you to really hone in on yourself, because this is not about me. We are not here for me. You didn't show up just to see Susanna, although I know Angie and Natalia and I know Birgit loves me too from Germany, right? But it's not, no, seriously, this is not, you did not come here to see me, right? Everyone's busy. You are here for the most important person in the world, and the most important person in the world is you. Okay, it is you. So I want you to keep an open mind, and I want you to really challenge and notice what's happening inside you when you think, when there's ideas, when there's resistance inside you with the information, and just challenge that. So who here believes that you really have to work hard to have success? Who believes that? Who has grown up in a similar environment as what I have? And who here believes that that you only value hard work, and that's how you get results? I want to see. Let me know what's your paradigms. Just pop it in the chat box or in the Q&A box so I can see. Yeah, Joe, it's so good to have you here. It's so good to have you here. So it does work, but it's not the best way. So, okay, so that we have to really look at hard work. When we put the assumption out that it is hard work, right? The energy behind that is what? Hard, is, challenging, is strenuous, is, exhausting just by thinking about that, okay? So be very, very, very clear, right, that I'm not talking about not taking action. Those of you that know me, I take action, okay? There are weekends when I'm taking action, but I am taking action in a state of love, in a state of inspiration, in a state of fully aligning with my purpose. So I want you to play play with the idea of hard work. If you grew up, and I can see some comments coming in, you know, I grew up a dad with a stingy mindset. Boy, Angie, that's so common. And Joe, my beautiful friend Joe from Florida, said it certainly delays the satisfaction when the cause of effect is hard. Absolutely. And Joe's nailed it. You know, he understands the universal laws so well. So the law of cause and effect, what does that mean? If you apply the universal laws to your life, you will be 100% successful 100% of the time. So the law of cause and effect means, right, that energy is circulating. And we're going to go into energy in this lesson, okay? So whatever is coming from you, from within, right, the cause is always from within. So whatever's coming from you and through you, okay, and it's out there, right, it has to come back to you. So the cause is within, right, and we're going to go into your marvelous mind in a moment. And the effect is whatever has come through you and out of you, right? So if you're, and we're going to go into paradigm. So you may or may not have heard the word paradigm before. I will explain what a paradigm is in a moment. But if your paradigm, your subconscious programming is convinced that you have to work hard, right? So the energy, because thought energy is the most powerful energy that exists, the energy behind that will not be pleasant for you, okay? Will not be, it will be, you know, a strenuous and exhausting, you know, energy, right? So if you're giving that out, then if you want more business, if you want more clients, then your clients will come back to you with hard work, in a hard way, okay? So the law of cause and effect. So remember and write this down. Whatever comes through me or from me will circulate back to me, okay? So I have a challenge for you all. And I want you to report back to me, please. Either report back to me tomorrow, because I love action, okay? And I love guided action. So I'm not saying working hard, all right? I'm not saying working hard. I love movement. Things have to move. Energy has to move, right? So when I say action, I'm talking about movement, okay? Not hard work. So I want you to all take action, and please report back to me. You can send me an email, or Natalia an email at admin at your2minds.com, your2minds.com, okay? Or send me a message. I want you to play with the word hard work, especially if you grew up in a family that believes you only deserve success if you work hard, okay? Or if you grew up in a family where, you know, you needed to, thank you, Natalia, for sharing that, or if you needed to work hard for survival, okay? And I want you to really play with that and see how you can change that concept, see how you can change the idea, okay? Now, I'm not also meaning that you sleep in until, you know, 5 o'clock in the afternoon and do nothing but think. A lot of people that have watched the movie The Secret have got it all wrong, okay? I absolutely love the movie The Secret, and the movie The Secret made my incredible mentor and dear friend, you know, reach greater levels of connecting to people. That's Bob Proctor that I'm talking about. And it absolutely awakened, you know, millions and millions of people to their power. But what people, because it doesn't have the whole formula in The Secret, right? They don't talk about, you know, the law of cause and effect. They don't talk about the law of vibration, which is the primary law. They only talk about the law of vibration, which is the secondary law. And the law of vibration is basically what the law of attraction you know, works on. And we're going to go into a little bit more about that later. Just stay with me, okay? So what people think, because they think that there's just the law of attraction, okay, they start to believe, and many people have started to, they say two things. Oh, The Secret doesn't work. I've tried it. I've heard many people say that. Or the other thing is, God, it's so fantastic. And they think that they can just think and not do anything, and they'll see the thing that they want on the physical. I believe that's possible, but I wouldn't put my chances on it. Okay. So what I have learned is the universe does not conspire to help a person with a dream. In my own experience, what I have learned is the universe conspires to help the person that has a dream and has made the decision to move towards that dream. And as soon as you start to move towards that dream, because everything is vibrating, right? Everything, energy is circulating. It needs to move. It's the law of circulation. It's a universal law. Okay. The earth is spinning and vibrating at levels that you would not believe, right? Everything is circulating. Energy has to circulate. When energy does not circulate in your body, what happens? It gets stuck, it becomes stagnant, and it creates dis-ease in different parts of your body. So the universe conspires to help the person that has made a clear decision that they will go for their dream, and they start to move towards their dream. And as soon as they start to move towards their dream, that dream starts to come closer to them. And that's where the universe conspires. And that's where we get flow. Now, the reason why I asked you, and I really wanted you to hone in on what it is that you would love, or in other words, what it is that you would want, and write that down, is because inside you, my friend, inside you, you have the most powerful tool for success. In fact, you were designed for success. You were absolutely designed for success. And I can feel some of you, I'm very good at feeling energy, okay? Very, very good. And I can feel some of you saying, oh, Susanna, but you don't know me. You don't know my history. You don't know all the failures I've had. Maybe her, but not me. I had someone say to me, a client say to me when she started, but it's easy for you to say you're so confident. Okay. So yes, I am. I absolutely love what I do, but I wasn't 5 years ago. Right. Okay. So you do have the most powerful tool for success inside you. I'm talking about you. I don't care where you were in the past, what you've experienced, okay? You can change that in the present moment. You can have anything that you want. So you do have you, right there, you have the most powerful tool for success. And that tool is your mind. That tool is your mind, okay? So your mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. Write that down. My mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. We're going to go into your mind a little bit deeper today, okay? Now, you're probably thinking, well, Susanna, that's great, but why have I had all these failures? Why can't I move past, the certain stress and situation or my business, the level that I'm at in my business? And I'll tell you something, and you're going to learn more about why that is happening as we progress and move forward in this session. But I'll tell you something. And the reason why is because your mind is thinking that what you don't want, those things that you call, that are so-called failures, the frustrations, it is seeing them as your goal, right? So if it's seeing them as your goal, it's naturally taking you towards more of what you don't want. So the more you focus your attention on what you do not want, the deeper you are going to receive what you do not want. You have absolute genius locked up inside you. It is absolute genius, and it is you. It is you. I was sharing on the training session we had this morning that I was running with my colleagues about Bob Proctor. And, he would say to us when he was alive, he said, even with his 60 years of experience, being the number one coach or mentor in the field of human potential, he would say, I have only scratched the surface of the surface, scratched the surface of my potential. Because this was a man that understood, really understood, that inside him, he had infinite potential. Inside him, he had genius. And that genius had all of the knowledge, all of the strategies, everything that it needed to make him a success. And that same potential and that same genius is inside you and is inside your mind. Okay, so the very first step is to really define what it is that you want. If you have a confused mind, you will never get into a state of flow. In fact, you will get into a state of chaos. And isn't the world full of chaos at the moment? We have enough chaos, we have enough fear, we have enough, negativity going on in the world at the moment. And if you're not able to switch off and able to, to understand the power of your mind and how to protect yourself from that negativity, you can get sucked in with that. And what happens when you get sucked in, right, you start to create more. Okay. And we will go through this. I've got some slides to show you how all this works, just so that you understand it very, very clearly. So what you want to be doing is you want to be coming from a place of your own power. Flow is your natural state. Please write that down. Flow is my natural state. Flow is my natural state, okay? But there's always a decision, because you have the freedom and free will to think and make decisions. You decide every single moment whether you're in flow or whether you're in your story, whether you're in flow or whether you're focused on what you do not want. Okay? So, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, my beautiful Jo. I know I can cling to my story or accept responsibility and tell a new story. And you know what? Every single second, when you are present, in every single second, there is an opportunity to create, because you are the highest form of creation. You have the highest form of genius inside you. Therefore, you have the power to recreate or to create a new story every single second. There are absolute infinite possibilities for you. Every moment, every second, you are choosing a possibility. And the first law, the first universal law is, and I know my clients will know this. What is it, guys? Show me in the chat box. This is a test. You thought you were coming here to learn even more about what we do, but I'm giving you a little test. What is the first law? What is the first universal law? Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Do I have to time you? Okay, let's put the timer on. Who's going to remember the first law? Oh, my goodness. You guys are a little bit slow. Are you listening? Anyone watching in the Millionaire Roundtable? Come on, tell them what the first law is, the first universal law. So the first universal law is order. Okay, you look at nature, right? You plant a seed, and that seed in its DNA knows exactly in an orderly way what it's going to grow into. So if you were to plant a granny, sorry, I have to laugh. I don't know if this interaction is good because it distracts me. So Angie said I had a brain burp. Angie, you knew that. Come on, come on. So if you were to plant a Granny Smith apple seed in the ground, provided that the soil was healthy, it contained the nutrients that seed needed, and you watered it, you nourished it, you gave it what it needs. When that seed germinates and becomes a fully grown tree, what produce will it abundantly, nature is also abundant, abundantly give you? Would it be bananas? Would it be tomatoes or tomatoes? I hope I pronounced that right. We have a lot of Americans, tomatoes. Christopher said maybe pears. Would it be pears? Okay. Or would you not know what the tree would produce? Well, absolutely not. Of course, it will only be Granny Smith apples. There's nothing else. Nothing else. Okay. They won't be Pink Lady apples. They won't be Jonathan. They won't be, Red Delicious. They will be Granny Smith apples. Full stop. Right? So nature is orderly. That seed has the same vibration as your thought power when it focuses only on the thing that you want. As soon as you start to move your thought and you're not clear about what you want, right? You are moving away from the destiny of the thing that you want. The seed in the ground has no other option. Its only DNA, its only focus on an energetic level is to be a Granny Smith apple. And when that tree is fully grown, provided that it is nurtured, that it is loved, that it is given the nutrients that it needs, it will reward you abundantly with hundreds of apples in one season. That tree can grow, that tree can live 50 years. I'm not sure Angie would know how long trees live, like fruit trees live, 50 years, 100 years. And it will, over the years of its life, it will give you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of apples. Not only that, every apple on that tree contains seeds. So those seeds can produce thousands and thousands of Granny Smith apples that produce thousands and thousands of Granny Smith, trees, right? So those seeds will produce so many Granny Smith trees, which will produce Granny Smith apples. Okay? So nature is orderly. Your mind must have order. It must align with the thing that you want. First law of nature, nature is orderly. Second, abundant. There is abundance everywhere. You have been focused on lack. You have been programmed to focus on lack rather than abundance. Okay. This morning in the training that I was running, the question and answer that my colleagues and I were running, right? I suggested to people, if you want abundance, be abundance. Be abundance. Okay. So Angie said properly taken care of, a Granny Smith tree can live 50 years or longer. Can you imagine how many trees came out of that one tree, can come out of that one tree, and how many apples came out of that one tree in the 50 years, plus the apples that came out of the trees that came after that tree? Okay, it's infinite. It goes on forever. It's abundant. So what are you focused on? Are you focused on what you can't have? Or are you aligned and completely and coherently aligned with what you want? That's why we did the exercise that I suggested you do and the meditation. Okay, very, very, very important. If we don't get that as a starting place, we will never get flow. Okay. So let me explain to you how this works. So on Tuesday, I said I don't really like slides, but as I was, connecting energetically with all of you just before we got on this call, I think I will share some slides. So just bear with me. I do have some slides here for us. I just have to find them. Here we go. All right, let's do this. All right. So I want you just to really open up to the ideas that I'm going to share with you. And for my beautiful clients, Birgit, I know you've seen this before. Joe, I think you've seen this before. Natalia, Angie, you've all seen this before. But hey, open up and go deeper, because the deeper we go with this understanding, the deeper our awareness, and the deeper our awareness, okay, the more aligned and in flow we will be. And I think, I think the beautiful Trina is here from Melbourne too. Welcome, beautiful Trina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to see you here. Okay. I also see Sarah Blakes from the US. Welcome, welcome. Anyway, there's so many of you here. So please open up to this information. So my background is psychology and counseling. And when I first saw Bob do the stick person, and when I started to do thinking into results for the very first time, those of you that don't know what thinking into results is, I do a parallel program. Thinking into results is Bob's program combined with my knowledge, my expertise in my field and this work. So you get both when you work with me. You get over 100 years of experience, Bob's experience and mine. But when I started to do that program the first time, I thought, oh, yeah, I'm not going to draw this. This is too basic. And, because ego got in the way, well, I've studied, I've got all these frigging degrees everywhere. I've studied this, it's too simple for me. Please, if resistance or if something is getting in your way, please just let it go. Just let it go for the next half an hour. That's all, okay? Because what I did then is I really, I blocked my growth, okay? My paradigms, my subconscious didn't change as quickly as I wanted it to. And I want every single person that comes in front of me, every single person that I work with, I want you to be fully open to your potential, okay? I want you to not make the mistakes that I did. I want you to learn from me so that you can have ease and flow, so that you can be that abundant fruit tree, abundant with love, abundant with health, abundant with prosperity, and abundantly aligning with your beautiful big dream and goal. So let's learn a little bit about, or let's talk a little bit about your mind, okay? So we think in images. So if I was to say to you, think of your house, the house that you live in. Think of your front door, your car, your best friend. Think of your refrigerator. What color is it, and how does it, what side does the door open up? Does it open up from the left to the right or the right to the left? Now think of your mind. You see, if you're anything like me, okay, even though I studied psychology and I had these degrees, right? When people would ask me, what is the mind? I would get confused. I would absolutely get confused. I wasn't sure what it was, okay? Sometimes I would have the image of the brain, but I knew that the brain was not the mind, but I wasn't sure, how it all worked. You see, we think in images, okay? So when I asked you about all those things, an image came up until I asked you about the mind, where you may have been like me and got confused, or you may have had an image of the brain. Now, the brain is not the mind, okay? Now, let me tell you why this is the issue, okay, why it's an issue. So we're going to talk about your paradigms and the mind, okay? So your paradigms, if you have not heard the word paradigm or don't know what it is, basically what it is your programming on the subconscious mind. When I was studying at university, we were taught back then, it was a long time ago. I look really good for my age, guys. I'm sorry. It was a long time ago. And back then they were telling us that we only use 10% maximum. More likely it's 4 to 6% of our conscious mind, okay? So, but now research says that 99, depends what research you look at, up to 99% of your mind, of your thinking is unconscious. So paradigms are those unconscious thoughts. It is basically your programming, your habitual way of being, okay? So let's have a look at your paradigms and your mind. So Dr. Thurman Fleet, he was the advisor to President Kennedy and also to Gandhi, and he was in the healing arts and holistic health. He said, the mind is an activity, it's not a thing. No one has ever seen the mind. In order to gain clarity and eliminate confusion, I will create an image we can work with, okay? And this is the image. Do not underestimate this image. Okay, so we have an image here that represents your mind and your body. So the big circle is your mind and the little circle represents your body. That's not how it works exactly, because your subconscious mind is in every cell of your body. Now, having a background in counseling, okay, our clients in the organizations that I work with would spend years and years and years in counseling, repeating the same thing over and over again. And one of the questions was, are we making a difference? Can we truly look at ourselves as professionals and say that we have made a difference to our clients? And I would always wonder, knowing intrinsically that we have infinite potential, I would always wonder, are we really making a difference, and what's the point, right? And we did make a difference, a huge difference to some people, but they weren't making their quantum leaps. And the reason why I learned now recently is that why it took so long to change is because we think in images, but we don't have an image of the mind, okay? So this little stick person here, although it is simple, although you probably think, oh my God, what is this? It's a stick person, as if that's going to change my mind, because that's what I thought, right? Okay, because I was too smart to take this on board. Okay, do not underestimate this. Do not underestimate this presentation. Do not underestimate the power of having that image in your mind. So let's just say that the big circle represents your mind and the little circle represents your body. So there are many parts of your mind, but for the purpose of this, this presentation, let's just say that you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind, okay? I already mentioned that your subconscious has your unconscious programming, and 90, depends who you talk to, 96 to 99% of you is subconscious. So you think that you're thinking, but you're actually on automatic pilot. That means all of your results, all of your feelings, your thoughts, the idea that you have to work hard because that was passed down from generation to generation, okay? And your results are all automatic. They're all in your subconscious, right? So what that means is you will continue to get the same results unless something changes. Okay, that's your subconscious. Your conscious mind is your rational mind. It is where you experience your five senses. It's the logical mind, and it's less than 5% of who you are and of the thoughts that you have. Your conscious mind is actually the mind that you are watching this presentation from and judging it, judging me. You might be saying, oh my God, this is so interesting. You know, you might be writing notes. You might be thinking about, well, yourself, or you might be judging me saying, oh God, she talks too much. Okay, right? This is all coming from your conscious mind. Okay. The rest of you is unconscious. In actual fact, recent studies show that the subconscious mind is able to process 20 to 40 million pieces of information every single second. Let me repeat that. Your subconscious mind is able to process 20 to 40 million pieces of information every single second. And up until this point, if you are like most people, you are probably thinking that you are somehow small, somehow inadequate. But there is so much genius locked up inside you, so much potential locked up inside you that if you knew who you truly were, you would literally fall off this chair, or your chair, not my chair. You wouldn't fall off my chair. That's impossible. I could fall off my chair, right? So this is one of the most valuable ideas that I have ever learnt that my dear friend and mentor said when he was alive. And absolutely, it is definitely one of the most powerful ideas that I have learned myself, thanks to this great man on the screen, our dear mentor and one of my dearest friends, Bob Proctor. So Bob said, a paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. Think about that. It has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. So when my beautiful friend Joe from Florida said that, you know, he needs to move from the story to the possibility in his comments in the chat, the story is your habitual behavior, right? The paradigm has exclusive control over that story that you keep telling yourself over and over and over and over again. Have you ever felt frustrated? Have you ever felt like there's a limit, a ceiling, right here, preventing you from moving forward, preventing you from moving to the next level of success, whether that is in relationships, whether that is in your money? Relationships and money are two big ones, or your health. Well, guess what? This is the reason why. This is the reason why you have been feeling frustrated. This is the reason why you haven't been able to move past that level that you're at. This is the reason why, where as soon as you have a dream or a goal and you really want to go for it and you start moving towards it, bang, comes back down. And I see this so often around the 6-week mark. Some of my beautiful clients in our incredible Your Two Minds family, because it is a family, right, Natalia and Angie and all of my clients, it's such a close, incredible community of support. There's not one person that doesn't have another person's back in our community. And around the 6-week mark, the 2-month mark, sometimes, not everybody, but sometimes I notice some of those ceilings coming back, and it's a matter of working with the right person so that you can break through. So let's go a little bit deeper. So I've already said that the conscious mind is the thinking mind. It is the mind where, and I point to them, isn't it interesting that we point to our head? See, that's subconscious for me too. Even though I've been studying this for so long, I point to my head, whereas the mind is in every cell of your body, okay? But your conscious mind is where you experience your 5 senses. In your subconscious, okay, this is where your habits are, but it's also your emotional mind. This is where the frequency of the image that you have in your mind, this is where you feel it. So it's the frequency, it is the emotional mind. So in the example of this graph, right, you have a self-image. And that self-image is something that you have been carrying, and it's an automatic feeling and image about who you are. I used to think that self-image was just about the way that you dress, right? Your style of clothing, okay? Or, you know, your style, you know, how you present yourself, your hair, whatever. But self-image is way more than that. That is a part of your self-image. But it starts with the image that you have as a habitual image in your subconscious mind, right? So that image, because it's in your subconscious, has a frequency, it has an emotion. Okay. And that emotion then controls your behavior, right? And then the behavior brings you your results. The law of cause and effect. That's another universal law that I've already mentioned. Now, let's talk about the law of attraction and manifestation. So your subconscious, remember, It's not a thing. It's it's not a material thing, right? That's why we don't have an image of it, in our brain, in our mind. It is an energy. And because it's an energy, right, and it controls the images and everything, well then, and because it is your emotional mind, what is emotion? Emotion is vibration. So the vibration that your subconscious is in, or that your self-image is in, is the vibration that is moving out of your body. Okay? So if you are coherent, write the word coherent, very important in flow. If you are coherent to your goal and your self-image aligns with your goal, then your energy will be coherent and will be aligned with the same energy inside your body. So control your behavior, but also outside. It will attach to the same frequency. And that's where we get flow and results coming to us with ease and flow. Or that's where we get chaos and turmoil and conflict, depending on what your self-image and your paradigm, what vibration that is on, okay? The emotion aligned with that vibration. So let's have a look at this. So your self-image is a cybernetic instrument. So what that means is, oh my God, we don't have a lot of time. I talk a lot. So what that means is that your subconscious is set. Okay, it's set, right? So every time you start to move past that, it will notice a deviation and bring it back immediately. So let's say your self-image is somebody that is overweight. So all of your life, you've had a self-image in your subconscious that you are overweight. So the mistake that people make is they use their conscious mind to decide on a behavior. So the behavior is you decide to go on a diet. Okay, so you go on a diet and you can see the little dotted lines down the bottom. You're losing weight. You're losing weight and you're losing weight and you're still on a diet, but something happens. So when a person is overweight and goes on a diet without altering their subconscious, okay, right, the weight loss will be temporary, right? So the self-image being is a cybernetic instrument, so it measures the deviation from the set goal and immediately corrects course. Okay, so what happens is the weight comes back on. So we've all known somebody, you may be one person that has been on a diet and you lose weight and then 3 months down the track you've put it on again. Or we know people that smoke, they decide to quit smoking and 3 months down the track, they're smoking more than what they've ever smoked before. So the key is, so this is exactly like your results. So most of you you've joined this webinar, you've joined this class because you want to align with flow. You want to align with ease and flow. You want to be, having your goal now, right? You want to know how to move past that frustration. So you are in the frustration because your self-image and your subconscious is stuck. It's there. So what we have to do is we need to change our paradigm. We need to change our self-image so it's aligned with our goal, okay? It's aligned with our goal, right? Now, how does it work? So Albert Einstein said that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. That's all, full stop. So your body, if we were to put your hand under, one of those quantum physics microscopes, I have no idea what they're called, but you put your hand under that and in the minutest, level, you will see energy. You are actually, in fact, 99.99999, 12 nines, energy. And what science has shown us today with the modern quantum physics, and Joe's partner in Florida, Holly was one of my incredible clients. She's so incredible. She actually measures this stuff, right? She's one of the people that measures frequencies and how it all works. And she's doing her PhD in quantum physics. Okay, so what we know now is we can actually measure these frequencies. So this is true, right? And in actual fact, you are less physical than what you are energy. Okay, so all you have to do is match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. I'm going to repeat that. Everything is energy, including you. You are more energy than what you are physical. You're 99.99999% energy, okay? Less than 1% physical. And that's all there is to it. It's not me that's saying this. It's the greatest intellect that lived, one of the greatest intellects that lived, Albert Einstein. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. Full stop. Nothing else to it. So, do you want more flow in your life? Do you want to easily achieve your goal? Absolutely. That's why you're all here, right? That's what you're here to learn. So, what we have to do is now change your emotional mind, your subconscious mind, so that it is functioning on the level of your goal. Okay, the frequency level of your goal, right? You know, it baffles me to think, and I speak to my clients about this quite often, and I just slip it in like every few weeks as a reminder to them. Isn't it crazy, absolutely crazy, that we are conditioned to focus on our five senses, on what we can see, taste, smell, hear? Okay, what we can see on the physical, when the actual physical is less than 1% of what is real. You see, if you continue to focus on your story, if you continue to focus on your past programming, and some of your past programming is not even yours, it's not even relevant to today's society. So in my example, you know, I came from generations of, you know, Serbian peasant farmers. I'm so proud of my background, absolutely so proud. But that struggle to survive has been passed on for generations and generations, and has absolutely nothing to do with, you know, my grandparents, my parents, my brother and me, and now my nephews and nieces, right, living in a modern society. So what I had to do, and what you have to do, is let go of your past programming and align yourself energetically to the power within you, which is the most incredible force. Not only has quantum physics seen that you are mainly energy, but there's proof that that energy is not just nothing. It's not just energy. Okay, there's evidence that there's you know, proof, research, actual research that has been done on this, you know, over and over again, proof that that energy inside you is an intelligence, and it's the intelligence inside you that has created stars, galaxies, our solar system. It's created those trees that bring us the beautiful Granny Smith apples. And it not only has created you, it is inside you every single second of the day. Now, the question is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Are you living your life with a closed mind and continuing the habits and the paradigms that you have always had? Or are you opening up in this present moment to the infinite possibilities that are available to you? I'm going to leave you with that question. I suggest that you write that question down. Am I living my life with a closed mind and in the physical, what's here, what's not here? Or am I present in the moment, and fully open to the infinite possibilities that are available to me right now. That's your homework. I want you to contemplate that. And tomorrow we're going to go into detail about changing it. Thank you so much for being with me today. If you would like a free strategy session, I have to laugh. I've got this fly that is just flying around me all morning, and in the question and answer session that we were running this morning, I just kept waving my arms around. But it's here. It's giving me company. So please contemplate. Am I tapping into the infinite possibilities available to me in this moment right now? And come back tomorrow, same time, same place, so we can go deeper into how you can change that and how you can start living in flow. I've given you some clues already, and start not only living in flow, but achieving and aligning yourself with your big, beautiful goal. You are here to have a big goal. You are here to make a difference to this world, to this life. You are not here by chance. So make sure your goal is big. And tomorrow we're going to go into detail about how you can achieve it. If you would like to jump on a free strategy session with me, please do touch base. Send Natalia a message, send me a message, and we will squeeze you in at the earliest time that we have. We are here to support you. We are here to help you tap into your own greatness. You do the work. I cannot do it for you, but I have the vehicle, the expertise, and the skill to help you open up to what is possible for you. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited about hearing from you and also seeing you all tomorrow. Stay blessed. Thank you.